Today on Animal Fact Files, we're talking about swans. For more facts on your favorite animals, don't forget to subscribe. Swans were a request from Verka Forever. Let's see what there is to learn. Depending on who you ask, there are 6 or 7 species of swan in the world, and they are found natively on every continent except Antarctica and Africa. Hey, Antarctica isn't completely alone in this case, what do you know? Swans are happiest in temperate environments and are not typically found in hot tropical regions, and many will migrate to find more suitable habitats throughout the year. They're waterfowl and require a nearby source of water in their environment, as the name might imply. They can be seen living in and around rivers, lakes, streams, wetlands, and man-made ponds. 5 of the 7 swan species are all white, 1 is almost all black, and the other is a mixture of black and white. They tend to be a distinct group of animals among their waterfowl cousins. Swans are closely related to ducks and geese, but they stand out from the pack because swans are larger. In fact, they may just be the largest waterfowl currently living on our planet. Swan wingspans can be nearly 10 feet and they can weigh more than 30 pounds. Of course, not all swans reach these sizes, and females tend to be smaller than males. Still, there are perks to being the biggest waterfowl. Swans eat by dabbling, which is just a fancy word for saying they show off their butts when they eat. I'm sure any of you who have visited the local duck pond have observed this in ducks. It's a silly behavior, but what they're actually doing is sifting through underwater plants to find all the best morsels. Swans are largely vegetarian. Young swans will eat animals such as crustaceans and insects because they have a need for animal proteins in their quickly developing bodies. But adult swans almost exclusively consume grasses, grains, and seeds. Swans are able to access a larger range of food at greater water depths because swans are larger than other waterfowl competing for food resources. Swans are also widely shown as symbols of love and elegance. This might be due to the fact that swans are largely monogamous throughout their lifetime, meaning they tend to stick with the same partner. For swans, sticking with the same partner just gives them better opportunity to have more babies. But we humans tend to romanticize these things. Swans are also known for their swan song, which people have claimed is a long, lonely song they sing at their time of death after a life of otherwise silence. But in the wild, swans can live 20 to 30 years, and in captivity they can reach 50. They start off life in an egg laid by their mother. There are usually 6 eggs to a nest, which is incubated by mama and guarded by papa. There's this myth that male swans, called cobs, can break a man's arm while protecting his brood. But it's probably more likely he'd break his own arm trying to fight someone. Or his wing, I suppose. Still, the cob will protect his pen and their babies ruthlessly, and when he defeats his foes, he will let out a cry of triumph. Baby swans are called cygnets, and they'll stay with their parents for just under a year. They're usually ready to start their own families by 2 to 3 years of age. The name cygnet is related to the genus name of swans, which is Cygnus. Cygnus is also the name of the swan constellation. There are 2 largely accepted stories that discuss the origin of this constellation, so I'll tell you the one I prefer. 2 friends, Phaeton and Cygnus, were racing through the sky, but drove too close to the sun, and thus their chariots melted. Cygnus fell into a grove of trees, which broke his fall, but his friend fell into a river. Wishing to rescue his friend, Cygnus called upon Zeus to turn him into a swan so he could dive deep into the water and save his friend. Zeus was so moved by his action that when Cygnus died, he placed him in the stars in the form of a swan. The other story just deals with Zeus being Zeus. The constellation Cygnus is actually really cool, too. It contains the first black hole we've ever observed, as well as the 15th closest star to the Earth and the 19th brightest star in the sky. Considering how many stars we can see at night, even the 19th is pretty impressive. For more facts on swans, check out the links in the description. Tell us what you think of swans in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on Animal Fact Files.